You ever have one of those opinions that makes you just feel so out of touch that you just start to question things? Welcome back, and today we're going to be taking a look at Contra 3, The Alien Wars. What I think is the third Contra game. I know it sounds stupid and obvious, but I'm not sure if the game by game, or the game by game came out first, but I played this a few weeks or months back, not that long ago, after beating Contra 1 and 2 and absolutely adoring them to hell and back. The first one more, but the second one was great too. And now we are going into the Super Nintendo era. I was excited. I was so ready to see what were they going to do. It's going to look better. Will it play better? How much are they going to improve? The levels can be cooler. The bosses, while I consider Contra 1 a virtually flawless game, the biggest improvement to 2 to Super C was the bosses. They were fucking incredible. And I will say before anything else, Contra 3 does continue that trend. The bosses in design wise are they're unbelievable in Contra 3. They are epic as hell. And then I played through it, and if you look up any videos or like stuff online about Contra, best Contra game. Contra games ranked. The one common thing you will see very consistently is Contra 3 The Alien Wars is going to be at, if not very close to, the top. Sometimes it's just like the top 15 Contra games. It could be the top of all of them. It's getting close. It's always in the top few. Do I agree? Not only do I not consider Contra 3 the best Contra game, I don't even consider it a good game. I actively consider it to be a genuinely bad game. This is one of the most negative gaming experiences of miserable gaming experiences of my fucking life. And of course, I went after checking, like, let's see how other people feel. Let's check if I'm alone in this. But no, apparently I'm the weird one here. I've seen people call it the easiest. I've seen people call it the best, the best access point. I don't know how. I feel like how I felt when I was playing Final Fantasy 16, and I was like, wow, these are the worst quick time events in gaming history. Let's see if other people agree. And the first thing I fucking see is, oh, Final Fantasy 16 perfected the quick time event. Am I out of touch? Have I always been? Am I the weird one here? But let's get into it. We'll start with some of the good things. Let's start with some of the positives, because I don't want to just it's all awful. It's not like I hate everything about it. Some things are done way better. Graphically, it's a huge leap. Like, of course, from Nintendo, like back then, back in this era, at one generation with just a couple of years between, could be the difference between absolutely barely anything looking like what it is to like it was a huge leap. Final Fantasy 3 and 4 were on the like a tiny bit apart, and look at the difference. It went from this to this. It's a huge leap. The bosses, like I mentioned, like they are some of the most incredible looking things I've ever seen. This is not a fucking Contra boss. This is a Final Fantasy 6 boss. I mean that in the best possible way. It's an event when a boss comes out. And one of the best things, the coolest thing about Contra always was the bosses. They're always a cool part of it, but God, in this, just design wise and sometimes even battle wise, they're above and beyond. It's more than it feels like it deserves. It's like somebody went above and beyond with this stuff. There's cool new features like you can, because it's on the Super Nintendo now, you have 4 buttons. You can do things like have 2 weapons, or at least 2 weapon upgrades. So it's no longer like you have the spreader, you get hit, you're gone. You could have 2 spreaders, you could have a spreader and something else, and you switch between with a button. So if you think you're about to die, you could switch your weapon to the other one and not have to lose it, or just switch between them for a better situation. That's really cool. That's like, it's not a huge or change to the game, but it definitely adds a lot, and it's a cool use of a new button. No, because NES only had 2 buttons, A and B. Um, um, hmm. There's some more variety to the levels, and it's no longer just like sometimes you get a forward facing level or sometimes you get a top down level. Now you get like a top down level with like you can use the R buttons to turn and to spin. We'll get to that. And there's like a kind of hover bike level. Not it's not this is what I call it because of Battletoads, but you get like a driving kind of section kind of thing. Where do the negatives come in? will we just get into why I think this game sucks? To start off with, right from level one, I think I even said this at the time. I would say as well, with Contra 1, I think I got like level 2 the first attempt, and then I would try to pick away bit by bit, I get closer and closer. With Super C, I did a lot faster, probably because of based on the practice I had with Contra 1, because even after I beat it, because it was such a good game, I kept playing it at my own time. I went through multiple loops, I tried to get a no-hit run, got to level 7. And since Contra 2, Super C plays pretty much exactly the same, it makes sense that I was kind of more prepared. It was like practicing without practicing for the actual game, so it made sense. 3. I don't know if I beat level 1 the first time. If I did, I barely did anything. I don't. I definitely didn't beat level 2. I think I beat level 2 in Contra or Super C in my first attempt. Before I lost all my lives, or at least before I turned off the game for the first episode. The biggest problem I think with Contra 3 for me, there's so much going on the screen and the bullets can blend in so well with the background. Sometimes I'd just be here and it's like, what hit me? What happened? And then the boss would come out and it's like he's up here, down here, and there's so much to keep track of, so much going on, and you're gonna hit in the fucking leg and then you're dead. Cause it's still Contra, still one hit kills, which I'm not complaining about. But this might make more sense as I go on. It doesn't feel like this was made to be a Contra game. If you were to tell me that this was made in mind with multiple hits, with like a HP bar or something at the top of the screen, I would fully believe it. No problem. It just doesn't feel like it's made for a one hit kills in mind. Also, the game is more cinematic. And unlike with the JRPG stuff with the boss thing I mentioned, I mean that in a bad way. Because it's Contra. It's made to be hard, and I'm pretty sure that's at least in mind. By Contra 3, they have to have known it had a reputation for that. It's clearly intended you're going to run through the game, at least the earlier on in the game, multiple times. Level 1, you're going to have to probably see a lot. Because you have, what, 3 live, not 3, 3 continues, and then you're back to the start. So they had to have known. But in the first level, it's like you run forward, you get near the end of the level, and a helicopter comes down. It's like you're stuck here on a platform, and then helicopter flies in, fire envelops the ground. No, it's not. I'm not acting like it's a fucking 10-minute cutscene. It's like 20 seconds at the most, but still, it's in level 1. No matter how good you are or how bad you are, when you're getting through the game, you're going to get to level 1. You're going to at least get to this point unless you're fucking terrible. Like me. So the amount of times I just sit there like, yeah, come on, come on, come on. And it was right after a checkpoint too. So if you died after that, between there and the end of the level, back before the long, watch the helicopter swoop in, burn the ground, and the next like 30 seconds of the level feels very scripted too, because there's like flames going up and down, and they go up when you get close to them. So no matter what you do, you run forward, and the flame's going to go up. You wait, it goes down, you wait, and there's a long section there. So it's just you're just you're just waiting and slowly picking through it. With Contra 1 and Super C, it felt like no matter where you are for the most part, you were going through the level at your own pace. It never felt like, oh, I have to wait until this thing is done, now I can move. Wait until this thing is done, now I can move. So it felt like you were getting through the level faster, better, and that just doesn't apply to 3. It just feels like you're wasting your time. Then you get to the boss, and he's like, boom, boom, slowly, and he's like, dun dun, dun dun, dun dun, slowly coming out. Wait, 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 wait. Thank you for letting me continue. And it just feels like a waste of time. And like I said, it wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't for the fact it's level 1. The only level you're going to have to do no matter how far you get. You get level 2, it's more of a, like I said, it's a top down level. You press, you be here and you hold R1, the screen turns. It's weird, but it works. Basically, you have to go around level destroying 6 of a certain enemy, but sometimes just a random thing will just hit you out of nowhere, and it's weird to control, but it's fine. Level 3 is where the game falls apart for me. Up until this part, I was a negative, but I don't think I was hating the game. Level 3 is where it really starts to show its colours. Along the way, there's like enemies shooting you from down on the ground. They kind of roll in and shoot like a spread out, and it's mostly fine. Then enemies start grabbing you from the sky. You can jump out of it, but that's fine. But the biggest problem, I've said before, with Contra 1 and Super C, I don't think it's ever happened. If it is, good job. I could theoretically see somebody getting through the entire game, if they knew, if they were good with these kinds of games, even if they'd never played it, I think you could get through it without getting hit. No, look, I don't think it's ever happened. It'd be crazy. But it never felt like Contra 1 and 2 had like, you're running forward and boom, out of nowhere you're hit. Everything felt fair. Not to the point it's scripted. Like, I'm not expecting enemies to like, I'm going to shoot you now. Bang. But everything felt detectable. With this fucking game, it feels like genuine unfair crap sometimes. There are times where you will get hit by a thing that I cannot understand how you could possibly know is coming. This is the first example of it. You beat a mini boss, you jump up the wall, and you can climb because you can climb walls in this game. Another change, I guess, but it never really comes into it, but it's there. And you'll be here, and the screen will do nothing. You'll be okay, what's happening? And then out of nowhere, you could be this is you, and then a spider, boom. If you were here or here, dead. Zero. There's no way you can know that's coming. Look, no, granted, with this, it's a bit more fair because, like I said, you're like this big and it comes in like this. It's reasonable that you're in this area and not on these two. Still, though, you could get hit because of an unpredictable move. Bang. Nothing like that happened in 1 and 2. And then again, it's just a slow process. He's kind of like this. He's a spider, and he'll his legs like this, and he'll go boom, boom, shoot some rockets, boom, boom, shoot some rockets. So it's just about a minute of wait, 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 and then you get to fight him. It's dull, it's shit, and it's annoying. I would say it's the longest level in the game. You do get a checkpoint, but it probably has to have one of the coolest bosses at the end of this level too. I won't spoil it. I won't go too much into like bosses at the after this point. But it does seem to drag, and sometimes the checkpoints suck. It still just put you back between like two enemies. Like, yeah, they're the most easy to kill enemies. You could have just put me over here and be fine. Whatever. Level 4 is where I really started to, like, with this it was like a one-time thing of an enemy just coming out of nowhere. Level 4 is the kind of bike level I mentioned, the driving section thing, and oh my god. Enemies out of the sky, out of nowhere, boom, and just like shooting things. Like, sometimes I can seem to dodge, sometimes I can't, but fine, you get through it eventually. And it's a decently fun level for the most part. Sometimes it does drag a bit because you're just like, oh, you have to shoot these things until the game decides you're out to move on, but this. If anyone's familiar with the kind of shooting games, you haven't played this game specifically, tell me what I should do here. With no context, what is the plan? Is there anything that like stands out that I should do? Is there anything like where you're like, you should be doing this? Sorry, to make sure I was recording. You should be doing that. You should be here. You should be there. You should be shooting here. Anything? No? Well, boom! Hit by fire. Excuse me? I think the first time I dodged is because I just happened to be on the left. There's absolutely zero indication. And like I said, with the spider, he does this, the two fingers hit like that. You can be anywhere from here and here. Completely reasonable, you would dodge it. As far as I can tell, if you're not just in the perfect spot for this, you're dead. I'm sorry, are you fucking stupid? Am I wrong here, or is this just like a random out of nowhere, boom, you're dead, unless you know what's coming? I give shit to Silent Hill F because you'll be turning a corner out of nowhere, bang, enemy grabs you and hurts you, but that's like 20-30% of your health. This is a death. And either remind you, you lose your current upgrade or power if you die. And then you go on again, and there's like this spinning arm thing. And as far as I can tell with this, again, you just have to be in the right spot. Or jump or something. Or there's zero fucking indication, zero tell. And again, I'm not saying it has to go, I'm going to hit you now. But something to indicate what is about to happen. Nothing this bullshit happened in Contra 1 and Super C. It was fair. You knew what was, to an extent, what was going to happen. You would have to use skill to dodge it and to do okay, but there was something. In this, it's like, nah, fuck you, dead. If I'm wrong and there is some feedback or indication here that I'm missing, please let me know. I'll retract what I said, and I'll give this game an extra point at the end. But as of right now, it just feels like genuine, cheap, unfair garbage. And the boss here sucks too. It goes on way too long. I swear, there's one boss he's like stepping forward, and like I'll be doing exactly the same thing every time. Sometimes he'll just go boom into me, sometimes he'll back away. I don't get it. Level 5 is where I officially stopped giving a fuck. I got to the boss after many attempts of getting back my own time, trying and trying and trying and trying. Getting through 5 levels of a game I was like more and more progressively hating. I did something I've never done before. I started blatantly just cheating. When I got to the boss for a certain time, I died and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Save state, save state, save state, and I would just cheat my way through the rest of the game, which to be fair, it's only one level after that. Level 5's boss and the rest of level 6, I was done. But before we get into the why, in level 6, even after I did finally beat the boss, legitimately, before going back to the start again, it's just constant enemies from the front and from the back, and you'll be just jumping out of nowhere, boom, gotcha. I don't even remember the final boss. I was so, I guess I was just so rattled and done. I don't even remember it. Like, I cannot in my head think what the final boss in this game is. But level 5 is another one of the top down, or to go. And why does that become a problem here? I'm not sure what the exact term is. I guess a quicksand whirlpool. And it starts spinning the camera. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to like hold L to turn against it, if you're supposed to just shoot and hope for the best. But you are constantly spinning, and that applies even tenfold for the boss. The entire boss level is just a bit on the outside, and the whole rest of it is quicksand whirlpool thing. I can't even, I can never beat the dog getting a bunch of hits. And this is where I officially just gave up, because I got so frustrated and almost like nauseated with the constant spin, 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 spin. Oh, stop spinning, now keep spinning, now I got one hit on him, now I'm hitting, then I'm spinning more, and I gave up. And the worst thing is, I don't even feel bad about it. I recently beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Manhattan Project here. I got to the end. It's a long ass game. It's like an hour, but when you're getting back for like the fourth time, that's long. I was tired. I was frustrated. I wanted to finish it. I wanted to finish it tonight. And on the very, very final boss, I got to a point where I was like, fuck this, rewind. Because there's a rewind feature in that game. But every time I got hit, I was like, for the final boss, I was like, I'm not going through the entire game again just to fight this shit boss. So I cheated. I started rewinding and did it until I beat the boss. Just for the final boss. And I felt so off about it that before I went and uploaded it, I went back in my own time, got just so I could beat the final boss alone without cheating. Because Turtles 3, despite its faults, limitations, and problems, it's a good game. It's not an unfair piece of shit that just goes, what, you've been walking along? Well, here's the thing. Dead. With no fucking warning. You weren't on the right side of the screen? Haha, fuck you. Dead. And I was willing to do it. Because it wasn't garbage. This game is a fucking disaster. Oh, and to make things even better, there's a hard mode that gives you a different boss at the end or a different ending. No. I don't even care enough to cheat my way back through. So if it wasn't obvious, I didn't like this one. And I did play the Game Boy Contra after this. It was decent until towards the end. Ending a bit off, but it was good. I liked it. And since then, I've moved on to the Turtles games, another Konami franchise. I was like, you know what? I can't. I looked at the opening level of Contra 1 or 4, just a little bit of it, and I was like, wow, this feels way too similar to Contra 3 for my liking. And it's just, I've had no motivation to go back since. Which sucks, because Contra 1, fucking near flawless masterpiece. Contra 2, almost as good. I was excited to play another one. I was loving these games from like passionately. Like I said, Contra 1, I played through like 4 or 5 times on my own time just for fun. And almost got a no-hit run. Because I loved playing it. But yeah, if I'm going to give this game a full overall score, I feel like I'm in a tiny minority here. I can't understand why, but I just gotta go with my heart. It gets a 3. Contra 1 got a 10. I think 2, I was like struggling between a 7 and an 8. I think I ended up with a 7. 3. I suppose he gets the 3 points just for looking good and playing fun at the times, and the boss is being incredible. But it's a low three, and it was enough to kill every shred of motivation to continue playing the Contra games. I've played through Turtles 1, 2, 3, the arcade game, the Game Boy game, and the tournament game. That's 6 games. I'm still motivated to keep going. The third Contra game killed every bit of that. For a franchise I started off calling near flawless. Yeah, maybe I'll definitely go back to try Contra 4 at some point, but God, I'm not in the mood. And that sucks, because some of the future ones do look really cool, and I'd love to keep going, but right now, this game has killed that for me. Anyway, that's all. I knew this was going to be a more negative one. I knew I'd have a lot more to yell about, and I don't think I've ever been more frustrated playing through a game in a long time, and more let down. It's just too much unfair crap for me to deal with. And yeah, you kind of, when you do it once or twice, you kind of pick up on it, but that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't make it good. It just means I adapted to the crap. Yeah, thank you for watching. Overall, if you like the game, good for you. I genuinely can't comprehend why it's the top one. I still think Contra 1 is leaps and bounds about everything I've played for Contra wise so far, especially this one. We'll be back next time, probably talk about the Game Boy game and then close out the Contra stuff, at least for now. But yeah. I'd love to do a ranking of all the Contra games someday. I can't wait to see what this so far, if I do make one, right at the bottom. I kind of hope it's the worst, but Contra 4 scares me. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you for the next one.